STEM education is now becoming really more and more important throughout the world, not just in Asia, but everywhere, okay, including, of course, here from Hong Kong and also in India and many parts of the world. And I think the important thing about STEM education as compared to our traditional science or engineering education is that we are now putting more emphasis, okay, on the practical side, okay, and how we actually implement what we learn in schools, okay, and in colleges. So we're not just learning the facts, not just learning the information, not just learning the equations and so on for homework, not just for exams, okay? We're wanting to put it into the real practical world and to solve problems, okay? That's the important thing, is to solve real problems for everyone, okay? So I think that is the most important thing about STEM education. And it's also to link up different areas, different fields of science and technology and engineering, mathematics education. In the past, biology teacher may just focus on biology, okay? Physics teachers just focus on physics. Math teachers just mathematics. But now in STEM education, we need to collaborate together. We need to have what we call cross-curriculum or interdisciplinary curriculum. So we need to have the math, okay? We need to have the physics, and of course we now also need to have the technology, especially the IT, information technology, to put all together in one curriculum or in one a lesson. So students will be able to learn from multidisciplinary. Okay. Now, in IT education is now, of course, we cannot live without IT, not just in education, but in every part of life. Just now, right at this moment, we're not able together to speak without IT. Okay, and this is really new and changing every day. Okay, so without internet, without information technology, without the computer, the mobile phone, we are not able to talk and speak to each other and see each other. And education is now playing a very, IT is playing a very important part in education. Today, we're going to introduce you to a very new and exciting mobile applications, okay? That will utilize, of course, the mobile phone, okay, or computer, together with some new technologies, new software, but at the same time, there are some very old traditional knowledge, okay, traditional facts and knowledge that we learn from conventional textbooks, okay, but we can combine the two together. So children at home or anywhere in the world, basically, they are able to perform some experiments, okay, using the AR, VR technology, okay. So they're able to do some simple like chemistry experiments or physics experiments, okay, in a very safe, okay, and convenient environment, okay. And of course, they'll also be able to see many things, okay, that's very difficult to visualize from the textbooks or even from ordinary videos or photographs from the internet. Okay, so here Mr. Agarkar, he uses these new technologies, okay, which I'm sure some of you have seen before, or some of your students have seen before, okay. Maybe they use it in their video games, okay. It's quite popular now in video games, okay, to have AR. So children can do all sorts of things, okay, doing that. But now introducing it in an education environment, I think is becoming more and more important. Okay. Now, although this software or this app is mainly targeted for younger children around age 10 to age maybe 14, 15. But I think once they get used to learning from this technology, this can expand to when they're even older, when they're at college or university, or even when they are doing some other kind of training, which is difficult or dangerous in real life. Okay. In fact, AR technology is now being used in what we call vocational training. Okay, and we use this in Hong Kong as well for engineers. Okay, engineers or technicians who need to maybe learn how to do some dangerous missions. Okay, so AR is now giving them a very good, but also a safe way of learning.
Let's talk about AR. No, AR is actually developed for maybe 6 or 7 years ago. Now it's really more and more important. If you go to internet, no, look for the word AR. It's a lot of about AR. But if we talk about AI in education, there are some still developing, go more and more, and I would say AI is a new way to arouse curiosity for the kids to love to learn science, no matter science and the subject as well. If you look into the commercial side, you can see many companies that use AR to arouse curiosity to the people to have a look. Like for example, as I remember, the company and the German company Bosch, they are selling a washing machine. They have picture of washing machine. When you scan it, you can see the washing machine turning around, something like that, to arouse, create interest of the people who like to buy this thing. The most important thing is that in the classroom, we use AR to arouse curiosity. So a long time ago, we have the book. Normal book is very boring. But now if you like to encourage them, so we have to develop active learning in the classroom. So they will love to learn. Oh, it's amazing. So if you have an AR, it's like something in 3D coming out from the book or coming out from the screen, it will be very interesting. Otherwise, they don't. The kids they are not interested in the book, but if you have this way, they will come more and more and want to learn more. And we develop in Thailand. This one, we have a card. We develop a word card for primary kids, A, B, C, D, and so on. This way, we have our own app. If you just scan, let's say the card C, the alphabet C, and the alphabet C will coming up in 3D form. So this is the kid may be interested more about the learning about alphabet. I mean the very young kid. For example, C. If you use a mobile phone scan on this the card C, you see alphabet C coming up, and A, and T. And then if you combine these cards together, CAT, when you combine it, you can see a cat coming out with the sound. I don't know whether we can have sound. We don't have sound. Anyway, so it should be a cat moving around and with sound. So the kid will love it. This is developed in Thailand. Oh, yeah. Have a look at this one. Yes. Like this, CAT when combined together. Like this, huh? So, and not only this alphabet, we have also other cards. This way, A, B, C, A for ant, P for hippo, and so on. Like this one. Giraffe, G for giraffe. Not only that, we also have some interesting activities. This is Actually, when I teach them using AR, I would like to combine with hands-on activities. For example, this one, AR map, and then we have the stick on the paper cup and scan it, and a shark will be swimming in the cup like this.
We started learning about augmented reality, which has a tremendous potential to enhance our perception, to enhance our understanding. So I started reading in that, and I found that this technology of augmented reality can prove a great tool to explain the concepts which are very, very involved. Like say, for example, the process of photosynthesis. It took almost 300 years for scientists to understand the entire process of photosynthesis. And what is done is it is just told in 3 minutes what happens in this in the sunlight and how chlorophyll prepares the food. So there is a need to actually show what happens and what are the different processes. Another important thing is, we have been learning a lot about how certain discoveries were done. For example, we say that Ernest Rutherford conducted an experiment where he had hit the alpha particles on the thin gold foil, and there were very few particles coming back. He concentrated on that and then came out with a model of atoms, saying that there is a central nucleus where everything is, heavy things are there, and then there are electrons outside, etc. So all these experiments is very difficult to visualize. So what we thought, can we make use of augmented reality actually to recreate the entire experiment and show it to the student? And we did this as a first attempt, and we used to call this as a Sahil lab. It was a sort of a laboratory activity, and we then went to various schools and started showing them, and we found that the students are very immersed in this because they can actually see it, they can interact with it, they can manipulate it, and at the same time they can share with colleagues and friends. So it's a wonderful tool for cooperative group learning. And another thing is, you can repeat whenever you want. You have a freedom. You suppose you want to, something has been told to you in the classroom and you have not understood it. Suppose you had an opportunity to perform experiment in the laboratory and you have no opportunity to repeat it. So here what we are doing is we are providing that opportunity. We are providing the students to see the unseen. So for example, how the animal cell looks like. What are the different parts of the animal cell? So by providing the opportunity to see the unseen, by visualizing the actual experiments, by visualizing the concepts which are very abstract in science, one can help students understand scientific concepts. This is what we have realized. And we are now at a stage, we have made some units, and we have now made it available on the Google Play Store. People can download it, use it in the classroom. And more interesting thing is, not only you have to see it individually, you can also share, a teacher can share it with a large number of group. So it will be a classroom supported by augmented reality and in a remote way. Now we are in a situation presently where one doesn't know, in many countries schools are not functioning. So everything is going on a remote mode. People are talking on the screen, and the screen has now changed our life. You can do so many things. So we have an opportunity to use this augmented reality for providing inputs to learn concepts in science.
It is actually placed in front of me. What I'm doing is I'm just sharing my screen. Whatever I see on my screen on my mobile phone is visible on your end.
Okay.
So this is actually a model of animal cell. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm peeling off the layer one by one. So there you go. So this is the centrioles, this Lander, Vikram Lander, which was unfortunately, couldn't land on the moon. But this is the 3D model of the actual object. Now what I'll do, I'll show you one very interesting part. So this is that Pragyan rover. So you can see there is a bell jar. There's water in it, and there's mercury, and this is a furnace. The students can go interact with it. They can actually perform the experiments. So I'll quickly show what exactly was the experiment, and then we will shift to the next scene. So when I start heating the mercury oxides starts to form. It's because, and at the same time, if you see very carefully, the level of the water is rising in the bell jar. If you see, there is a weighing scale in front of you. Students have to physically pick this weight, put it in the pan. And then actually weigh the apparatus. Right. So here you can see this is the source of the alpha particles. This is the actual gold foil. It's a very thin gold foil. Here is the microscope. And here is the phosphorescence screen. So when I start the experiment, I physically go inside the microscope to actually take the reading. And now I'm seeing on the scintillations that they were getting. So I can start my timer. So in 2 seconds, I'm getting 16,000 scintillations. I go back, then I change the angle of the bombardment. So if you see now, the alpha particles are coming from the right hand side, and then I'm taking reading at 30 degrees with respect to the gold foil. Now if I go inside the microscope, you will see the scintillations have came down. I mean, for 2 seconds, if I do 2 seconds, it's around 35 scintillations. And as I go near to the same side of the source of the alpha particle, and I go inside and I start my timer. So I get one scintillation every 12 to 13 minutes, sorry, seconds. So, I mean, that means it has been bombarded, it is coming back, it has been rebounded from this gold foil. So students have to, we are trying to create the curiosity. We are not giving them the straight answer. We are trying to create the curiosity of why it has been, is coming back. So this is what Rutherford's model of Rutherford's atomic model looks like. So he imagined there are electrons surrounding the nucleus. This is the nucleus.